Anyhow, we go through the whole ceremony, and there was like a little letter or card printed. It had all the cousins and nephews and nieces, and quite large family. And I remember looking at it and saying, I don't know any of these people. Like, these are my this is my family. These are all strangers to me, and I'm a stranger to them. But you know what? Like you and obviously Joel and a couple of my other cousins that we've always still like shown love. I'm excited to see them again and talk to them. So they organized this lunch or whatever at like some restaurant, and we're all my mom didn't want to go. I was trying to convince her to go because I was excited to be around my cousins again, and I kind of felt like, you know what, they're over that. They're not looking at me in any sort of way at this point. We're grown, like whatever. So I'm excited to know about them, and I want to know what they've been up to, and learn a little bit more about them, and maybe potentially start a relationship with them. And we're walking to the pizzeria, and my one of my cousins, also older cousin who I would consider more like an aunt, heavily involved into the organization. We're talking, and she's asking me all these questions, and it feels nice because I'm like, oh, she cares. I haven't seen her since I was a little kid, and she's taking this concern, and she's asking me, and she's excited about where I'm telling her about my life, and then she tells me, I'm just gonna be real, honest with you. I don't think you should come to this dinner because I think that people are gonna feel uncomfortable if you're there. And it was this moment where I kind of like was a little shocked because, mind you, I've put down this wall of anger and and hate and this sort of like grudge. That's all gone. I'm a free person, and I'm a newly made, well, not newly made because at this point I was already established, but I'm this like completely different established person in the world, that happens to have this past and wants to sort of reconnect to it at this moment. And I asked her like, well, who is going to feel uncomfortable? And she proceeded to give me this whole sort of rhetoric of the truth, and that I know this, and that I'm not welcomed at my grandmother's or my family's sort of moment, dinner after my grandmother's funeral, where everybody came together, people that live in different parts of the world, in different parts of the country, sort of came together and sort of had just this simple dinner, and just to converse and sort of catch up. It's like the head of our family just passed. That should bring people closer. Death typically brings people closer, makes people sort of, throw away any sort of, resentment that they harbor because, it reminds you that life is so short.